Hello Bakugan Brawlers and welcome to another Bakugan video. Today I'll be talking about the best Bakugan Gate cards for each attribute. Before we start, all of these cards mentioned in this video are from my collection. Also, like the ability card video, I will not be including Bakutech cards as I will make a separate video on it in the future, but I will be including Sega Toys cards. Since choosing one gate card for each attribute is incredibly hard, I will include at least one gold, silver and copper gate card for each attribute, and some may benefit being used in a mixed attribute deck. Stay tuned to the very end of the video as I will also discuss about one of the, if not the most powerful gate card in the game. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. First up, we have the Pyrus Bakugan cards. The copper gate card I chose is called Windswept Caverns, and although there is a lowest G power win cards for each of the attributes and I also have it in my deck, I would like to give a different type of copper gate cards just to give some different creative ideas for deck building, and they are also powerful. So this gate card says the player whose Bakugan has the lowest printed G power moves a red or green ability card from their used pile to their unused pile, and it gives a 150 G power bonus for Pyrus being the highest, the second highest being for Ventus. This can also be good for using in a Pyrus and Ventus deck, but mainly I would see this being used in a Pyrus deck. Pyrus Brawlers are usually more aggressive, wasting their ability cards very early in the game. This can be very good to bring back some of these cards. Only thing you would need is a lower printed G Pyrus Bakugan. For the silver gate card I chose Colossus Dragon. This is a Sega Toy version card. Silver gate card, pretty simple, with a highest bonus of Pyrus being 200 and the rest of the attributes being very weak. And now for the gold gate card I chose Quicken Fury. So this gate card is very good as it says players with a Ventus Bakugan in their used or unused pile gets plus 100 G power to their Bakugan at this battle. A good Pyrus gate card and can also benefit for Aquos, but this card is best being used in a mixed attribute deck if you're at least running one Ventus in your deck to get the full potential of this card. So basically, if you would have a Ventus Bakugan in your used or unused pile, this Ventus Monolith is in my used pile, I would be getting 100 bonus from the gate card effect with the gate bonus 210, giving me a whopping 310 Gs. And it's good to go against a Ventus or Haos or Subterra Bakugan. And now onto the Aquos Bakugan cards. The first gate card I chose is a copper gate card called Hazard Field. It says Bakugan swap printed G power at the start of the battle, and since a lot of the Aquos Bakugan tend to be pretty weak compared to the other attributes, this is a good gate card to just swap your printed G power with your opponent, and it can even throw them off if they're thinking this is a lowest G card, since there are some ability cards that can cancel lowest G ruling effect. So it gives a very high bonus of 200 for Aquos, second up to Pyrus for 160. So I see this a pretty good G power swap gate card for Aquos Bakugan. And the silver gate card I chose is Tourney Field 3, a pretty standard silver gate card giving a bonus of 150 for Aquos, which is also the highlighted bonus. And now for the gold gate card, it is Aquos Focus. And for the Aquos Focus, this gate card is very good for Aquos Bakugan if you have a low printed G Bakugan. As it says, the Bakugan with the lowest printed G power gets 50 G for each point of power level. In this case, we have here 450 Gs Falconeer, Aquos Falconeer, and 520 Ultra Brontes in the Bakulite version. Let's say the power level is 4 as we have 2 gate card in our used pile and our opponent has 2 gate cards in their used pile. So this would give you a whopping 200 G power bonus from the gate card effect, plus the 200 gate bonus for the Aquos attribute, giving you a whopping 400 Gs, which is very powerful. And now onto the Ventus Bakugan cards. The gold gate card I chose is Darken Fury. It's pretty much similar to Quicken Fury, but this is very good for a Ventus Bakugan, also for a Subterra Bakugan. As it says, players with a Darkus Bakugan in their used or unused pile gets plus 100 G power to their Bakugan at this battle. And this is great to be used in a mixed attribute deck, at least if you're running 2 Ventus and 1 Darkus, but would be more beneficial to be using this with a 1 Ventus and 2 Darkus Bakugan deck, since you will have a higher chance for having a Darkus Bakugan in your used and unused pile, so it can give you the full bonus effect for this gate card. So 210 for Ventus, the highest, and next up 200 for Subterra. This is also pretty good for a Subterra deck. And now onto the copper gate card for Ventus. Like I said earlier, I wouldn't mention a lot of the lowest G power wins card, but I find this as the best copper gate card for a Ventus Bakugan in my collection. Needle's Eye, a pretty popular gate card, with 0 being for Ventus, and it says the Bakugan with the lowest G power wins the battle. So pretty straightforward. And now for the silver gate card, I chose AG Wind for a Ventus deck. For AG Wind, this gate card is pretty good for Ventus Bakugan, as it says copper and gold gear can't be played, and since silver battle gears are pretty uncommon, this can be very good if your opponent is running a copper gear or gold gear deck, so their battle gear is blocked from being played in this game. And since you can be playing a silver battle gear, I would highly recommend using a silver battle gear that can give you a lot of high G power bonus, such as Jet Core. And since this is a silver gear on a silver gate card, no matter the reference card attribute bonus, you could choose any of them, since the battle gear attribute matches the gate card attribute too. And now onto the Haos Bakugan cards. The copper gate card I chose is Pinhole. Pretty much a lowest G power wins gate card, as it says the Bakugan with the lowest G power total wins. This is my best copper gate card for a Haos Bakugan or Haos deck, giving a 0 bonus for Haos, so pretty good. And next up for the silver gate card, I chose Tourney Field 6, a pretty standard silver gate card, but mainly because it gives a high bonus for Haos, and next up for Darkus for 100. And now for the gold gate card, I chose Power Snap for the Haos deck. And for Power Snap, the rule says add judge point based on its attribute. Moreover, get plus 200 if enemy 3 Bakugan don't have same attribute in your deck. This can be great if you're using a mono Haos deck and your opponent is using a completely different attribute, as it can give you an extra 200 bonus, which is very powerful if you're adding 200 for Haos. But you gotta be careful that your opponent does not have same attribute in their deck as your deck. And also your opponent does not run traps or some sort of ability card that can switch their attribute to your attribute of Bakugan in your deck, as this can disable the gate rule bonus. And now onto the Subterra Bakugan cards. The copper gate card I chose is called Quick Charge. It says the player with the lowest printed G power may not play ability cards during this battle. And since a lot of Subterra Bakugan tend to be very high in the G power range, this is a very good gate card, since it also gives a high bonus for Subterra being 170, next up to Pyrus being 150, so this could also be good in a Pyrus, Subterra, and even Haos deck. For the silver gate card, I chose AG Anvil, a pretty standard gate card, and it also does give a extra ruling effect, as it says Mechtagon with copper and gold Bakunano may not be played, so this is a very good addition to this card. It gives 250 for Subterra, and the next up being for Pyrus and Darkus, both giving 200. And now for the gold gate card for Subterra Bakugan, I chose Dusty. And for Dusty, the rule states if this is your enemy's gate card, you get the gate bonus 2 extra times. While this card's in your use pile, your Bakugan are minus 100 G power. So if you're taking this gate card, your opponent will get double gate attribute bonus, especially if they're running Ventus or Subterra. So they would get 400 for Subterra, 200 for Ventus. But it would be a big problem that if they win this gate card and if it goes to their use pile, because their Bakugan will be getting minus 100 G power as long as this card is in their use pile. And trust me, minus 100 G power does not seem too much, but it does do a big damage. And if your opponent does not want to risk it, he will basically let you win this gate card. And I've been using this card hundreds of times, and also my opponent has used this against me, and really getting minus 100 G power, especially at the start of the game, can really do some big damage to you. And also I would like to mention that if this is your gate card and you win this gate card, you won't be getting minus 100 G power, because as the minus 100 G power only states for the opponent Bakugan, not the player who chose this gate card. For this case, we won't be getting minus 100 if this card is in our use pile, but if it is in our opponent's use pile, they would be getting minus 100. And now onto the darkest Bakugan cards. For the Gold Gate card, I chose Sleepy, which is exactly similar to the Dusty Gate card, but this time giving a high bonus for Darkus. Next up for Haos. And like I mentioned earlier, this card is pretty powerful. For the Silver Gate card, I chose Darak and Grabil. This is a Sega Toys card, and it is similar to the Colossus Dragon card that I showed for the Pyrus, giving 200 for Darkus for the highest bonus, and for the rest pretty weak. Good for a mono Darkus deck. And now for the Copper Gate card, I've chosen two. We'll go first with the Copper Gate card called Stand Back. This is also a Sega Toys version, which is a bit more powerful than the Spin Master version. As it says, no ability cards can be played in this battle, only Jump Bakugan can use blue ability. So if you have a Sky Raider Bakugan, this is very good card for you, and it gives a very high bonus of Darkus, which is 140. Next up to Haos and Subterra of 80, so a big jump from both of them. And the other Copper Gate card I chose is Dark Tunnel. And for Dark Tunnel, it says players can't play blue or green ability cards, and this is very good for a Darkus deck, especially if you're using a high G power Copper gear. Since both of us can't play blue or green ability card, and if you pair it with a copper gear such as Battle Turbine, since the gear attribute matches the color of the gate card, no matter what attribute is shown on this reference card, you can choose any one of them. So if you choose a Subterra bonus, all gate bonuses are doubled. You would be basically getting 440 Gs, and your opponent won't be getting anything since both of us can't play ability cards. And for the last card on this list, I would like to give a honorable mention to Crushing Blow. I unfortunately do not have this gate card yet. This gate card is a very popular gate card, and a lot of people in the community really recommend everyone to use it. It says if one Bakugan at this battle has a printed G power of 200 or more, higher than the other Bakugan, no ability cards may be played. The Bakugan with the lowest G power wins. Since all of the lowest G power win gate cards are copper, this is the only gold gate card that can give you a lowest G power win effect. And not only that, it also blocks from any ability cards being played. If you're using any ability card that can cancel the lowest G power effect or the gate card ruling effect, this gate card can basically block all of that. If you're taking this gate card, your Bakugan needs to have a printed G power of at least 200 Gs or less than your opponent for this ruling effect to work. So this gate card can be used for any attribute. Even though it gives a high bonus for Aquos, still 120 is not enough to be covered, since your G power with you and your opponent is 200 or more greater in difference. So this is a gate card I would like to mention. I hope one day I get this in my collection. It is a really powerful card. Alright guys, we've come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share for more awesome Bakugan content. See you in the next Bakugan video.